There is a place where idyllic beauty masks a chilling secret. A small village named OakHaven. It rests against the edge of an ancient forest, a place the locals call the Whispering Woods. From a distance, OakHaven is a picture of tranquility, with quaint houses and quiet streets. But look closer, and you'll see the truth etched on the faces of its people. A subtle, unspoken fear flickers in their eyes, and they avert their gaze whenever the woods are mentioned, as if speaking its name might summon the darkness that dwells within. The forest's shadow looms large, not just over the landscape, but over the very soul of the village. Into this quiet tension steps Ilara Vance, a young historian with a notebook full of questions and a mind alight with curiosity. She has come to OakHaven to research its local folklore, drawn by fragmented tales she'd read in old county records. As she walks the village streets, her sharp eyes notice the drawn curtains, the hushed conversations that cease when she approaches, and the heavy silence that blankets the town. She senses a story far deeper and darker than any she had anticipated, a collective trauma held tightly in the community's heart. Ilara finds an elderly woman willing to speak, a woman whose own grandmother had passed down the village's sorrowful legend. In the dim light of a small cottage, the story unfolds in hushed, trembling tones. Generations ago, a little girl named Lily wandered into the Whispering Woods and was never seen again. Her parents, consumed by grief and desperation, searched for her relentlessly, their frantic calls echoing through the trees until they too were swallowed by the forest. In the silence that followed their disappearance, the woods began to change. It started to whisper, a faint, luring sound that drew others into its depths. The legend says it is Lily's echo, forever calling. But the old woman warns that something else was born from her parents, endless Dispera, malevolent entity that now haunts the woods, twisting Lily's memory to lure new victims into its grasp. Ilara, a woman of logic and fact, is initially skeptical, but as night falls on OakHaven, a palpable unease begins to creep into her heart. She hears them, the faint, distant whispers carried on the wind from the forest's edge, the unnatural rustling of leaves when there is no breeze. Shadows seem to writhe and dance just beyond the light of the village street lamps. The fear in the village escalates from a chronic dread to an acute terror when a local family's dog, known for never straying, vanishes near the forest line. The legend no longer feels like folklore. It feels like a present, an active threat, driven by a historian's need to uncover the truth and a growing fear for the village. Ilara delves into dusty town archives. She discovers the forgotten journals of one of OakHaven's founders, which speak of a hidden shrine deep within the woods, a place of significance to Lily's family. The journals contain frantic warnings against entering, but for Ilara, they are a map. Ignoring the pleas of the few villagers she has befriended, she gathers her pack. She must see for herself. She must understand what truly happened in the Whispering Woods. The moment Ilara steps under the canopy of the ancient trees, the air becomes heavy and oppressive. Sunlight struggles to pierce the gnarled, twisted branches that seem to claw at the sky. An eerie fog clings to the ground, and an unnatural stillness suffocates all sound. Then, the whispers begin, a child's faint, sorrowful voice seeming to guide her deeper into the maze of trees. She sees them at the edge of a vision spectral, distorted figures of Lily's anguished parents, their forms flickering as they try to beckon her towards the deepest, darkest parts of the forest. But Ilara's training cuts through the terror. She recognizes the manipulation, the weaponization of grief. This is not Lily's spirit. It is the despairing entity, and she pushes forward, refusing to become its next victim. She finally stumbles into a small, overgrown clearing. At its center stands a dilapidated stone shrine, choked by vines and moss. Resting upon it is a small, tarnished silver locket. In that moment, Ilara understands. The entity doesn't want to be fought. It feeds on the despair it creates, trapping Lily's real spirit in a cycle of sorrow. Armed with this knowledge, she doesn't confront the darkness with anger, but with compassion. Opening the locket, she speaks the names of Lily and her parents, performing an impromptu act of remembrance, offering peace to the memories that had been twisted into a curse. A horrifying shriek tears through the woods as the malevolent entity starved of the despair it craved, dissipates like smoke. For a fleeting moment, the serene, translucent spirit of a little girl smiles gratefully before ascending, followed by the spectral forms of her parents. Finally, at peace, Ilara emerges from the whispering woods as dawn breaks, painting the sky in hues of hope and relief. She is exhausted, but she has won. The forest behind her is quiet, its ancient presence now feeling serene and protective, not menacing. Over the following days, a change comes over OakHaven. The weight of generations of fear begins to lift. Villagers are seen walking near the forest's edge. Their gaze is filled not with terror, but with a newfound respect. The dark legend of Lily's Echo is slowly transformed into a story of remembrance, a tale of how peace can conquer even the deepest despair. If you were captivated by OakHaven's dark tale and its journey to peace, please subscribe, like, and comment for more stories like this.